This is IWC November Pain, fresh off one of the most historic and groundbreaking tournaments in independent wrestling history. Shiima Xion became the man in the International Wrestling Cartel, but now, with the entire IWC discombobulated, backwash, turned upside down, the action is more competitive than ever. I am Joe Dombrowski, he is Jay Worthington Farnsworth, and we're ready to get underway.
It's our opening attraction of November Pain 4, set for one fall and a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, making his way around the ring. He rounds the streets at night while you sleep. He's the Palmer, Facade.
Michael Facade had what many individuals would call a career night at our two-night tournament promotional consideration paid for by the Fallen. Even though he did not come out victorious, he was able to defeat an established veteran in Troy Lords and also go toe-to-toe with the most decorated heavyweight champion IWC has ever seen in Dennis Gregory.
Oh, very true. I have nothing to add to that, Joe.
Facade looks to build off of that momentum here this evening against another young gun who also had a big-time night at that weekend. And what a great time it was at the Steel City Comic-Con, Farnsworth. Hundreds of fans of all sorts of collectibles, toys, multimedia, and it was great to see so many great fans out there for that unique experience.
And Virgil.
Wrestling superstar Virgil.
He's our opponent, and from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighing at 226 pounds, Logan Shulo.
Logan Shulo been on a bit of a meteoric rise in recent times, holds a couple victories over some established veterans in IWC himself. He's got some momentum to build on. He too opposed Dennis Gregory, and he too gave Gregory a big time run for his money.
For a young kid, he had a great showing. And two IWC's up and coming in the ring.
Well, bell sounds are underway officially. Facade and Logan Shulo, two individuals who seem to have had the fans in their advantage recently. They've been very revered by our capacity crowds, but tonight they're going all out to improve that win-loss record. Two guys looking to make a big-time statement, hit the next level. What IWC has been about lately, Jay Worthington Farnsworth. Shiima Xion to the next level, winning the IWC Heavyweight Championship tournament, beating Jimmy DeMarco in the finals. They both had career nights. They both will see very important action later on in this DVD. Plus we have Scorpio, Irish Airborne are going to debut, and so much more. It's going to be a historic night.
I'm glad you're all here to watch. Well, I'm glad you're at home in your mom's basement watching this on DVD.
Great agility by the larger man, Shulo, with a takedown on Mike Facade. Facade trying to step out of that, but Shulo still able to take him down, arm drag, and both men are back to their feet. Facade can often be overlooked at times, a former co-holder of the Tag Team Championship, but Dennis Gregory found out firsthand that both these individuals have a lot to offer and cannot be looked past on a couple of occasions. Each of these individuals almost had Dennis Gregory's shoulders pinned.
And speaking of shoulders, Logan Shulo just put his shoulder clean through the suburban terrorist there. I'm sure Michael would rather be stalking the streets while we sleep than taking that type of abuse anymore.
On elbow centering, Bobby Williams, the referee assigned to this contest. Of course, talking about Dennis Gregory, we'll see him in action against John McChesney a little bit later tonight. That rivalry coming to a head. We've seen tension grow between those individuals for really about the past 6 or 8 months. As the pace quickens a little bit, it's going to be advantage Facade, and Facade comes across with a high heel kick, takes down Logan Shulo. Shulo probably about 6'2" or 3, has a definite height advantage. Facade's got to keep the tempo quick to counter.
Yeah, Logan's a big guy. You don't really you don't realize it until you're right up with him, and then all of a sudden you realize he's staring clean over you. Well, I mean, you, Joe, being that you're 4'3".
Certainly no shame in being towered over by men like Logan Shulo as both men go collar and elbow. As you can see, a moment ago, it seemed tempers are beginning to flare here in this opening contest this evening as both men begin to push each other back and forth. We're going to still get a clean break. Oh, Shulo tries to make the first strike, but Facade, again, a hair quick.
Yeah, well...
And right into the huge boot, right to the mush. Shulo was waiting for him and measured him with so much tenacity and power.
Shulo did a little emergency dental work there on the Bomber.
Hard slam, and Shulo measures him with the elbow. Very well done. And that's barely a count of two. Facade instinctively quick to get off of his back. Here, Farnsworth, the crowd a little bit split here. A lot of fans have been watching Michael Facade for a lot longer, but they cannot deny the accomplishments of Logan Shulo in the short time he's been here.
Well, really, who can? I mean, he's had a great showing here in IWC so far, especially for someone as young as he is.
Hard takedown, and the lateral press with a hook, but another near fall situation is created. Shulo overcomes so much in his young career. The bullying of CJ Sensation, of course, who has now been wished well in his future endeavors from IWC. That series of matches with Troy Lords. We talked about Dennis Gregory. Shulo has done so much to prove he belongs and prove he is ready for the toughest level of competition in the area today, IWC. And check out the power, the delayed vertical suplex. Shulo makes Facade think about it. The blood rushes to the brain. Could this be all? Another near fall.
Boy, the Bomber really has the crowd behind him tonight. I gotta say, I'm impressed. He apparently has won him over.
Well, he's earned a lot of respect.
5 minutes strong time is foul. 5 minutes.
No, I'm sorry. I meant I'm impressed they can actually speak that clearly with as little teeth as they all collectively have.
I would again like to apologize for Jay Worthington Farnsworth and his entire outlook on life.
You know I'm right.
As Shulo
You know I'm pretty.
continues to punish Facade, please. Facade firing back here, but you don't want to get to a slugfest with a man like Logan Shulo.
Oh, see, and I was just going to say the one person you don't want to trade strikes with is Michael the Bomber Facade.
That's very
His
true.
trained feet.
Facade has those proverbial educated feet, but when it comes to pure power of a forearm, it's all Logan Shulo. Facade certainly does have a martial arts style background. He studied men like Hayabusa, who have really revolutionized various styles of wrestling, brought high-flying martial arts, hardcore all together. So Facade's certainly a student of the game and can break out a lot of different offense, but if Shulo's grounding him, that takes away a lot of his offensive ability. Look at the clothesline. Facade comes up with the enziguri kick, and Facade now looks to regroup. Facade is going to perhaps attempt to get Logan Shulo up for his signature maneuver. We saw him debut at the in the Comic-Con promotional consideration paid for the following tournament, the Arashikage driver. But can he pick up that much mass? That may be the question that will decide this match.
That's true.
Facade again trying to quicken the pace, trying to fly, trying to hit and run. Heel kick, nicely done. Shulo's dazed. Can the Bomber follow through?
Well, one has to wonder, has he attempted the Rocky Valley driver on someone besides Shulo before?
That's the Arashikage driver.
That's what I said.
It's a very good question. Facade again, keeping the pace fast. Springboard, beautiful moonsault. Shulo's shoulders down, and another near fall. That's what Facade has to do. A very intricate situation, ending with that springboard moonsault. Shulo could not see it coming, and Facade may be going springboard.
Facade finally showing some signs that he's thinking about this offense. Stick and move, stick and move.
Heel kick to the top of the head, and again only two, says Williams. Again, Shulo able to power out, and you can see the fight that the rookie Shulo has inside him.
And Facade hitting his offense and then getting out of arm's reach. Smart. Yeah, except for there where he got caught. Not so smart.
Facade could not run fast. Wait, this may be it. Arashikage driver, that's the setup, but Shulo had too much power. But check Facade come back with a knee strike to the temple. Jackknife pin. Could this be all? No. Another escape. We're seeing both of these athletes in the fight of their lives. They've been in there with higher caliber opponents. They've been in there with more experienced opponents, but you can see the even keel in this matchup. both men back and forth, can't put the other away.
Well, you know Facade was looking to try and end the match with that Japanese move he did there.
But check this out. Jet Briscoe roll up out of the corner. Shulo escapes again. Facade may have not had enough power to trap the shoulders down. Shulo tries a pinning combination, and both athletes are back and forth now, trying to trap the shoulders. We're again in a stalemate. Check out the backslide. Facade bridging up with the legs. Another kick out. Back and forth here. Both men pulling on all stops to get a much important victory. A much important momentum boost. And check out the power. The palm. Shulo traps Facade tight and dancing.
Here is your winner, Logan Shulo.
The reason Fly Slaughters work is you only need to hit him once. Logan Shulo bided his time, waited for it, hit that power move to get the win. Good thinking, good strategy by Logan Shulo.
Came down to the strength advantage, came down to the power advantage. Facade tried to keep this a Michael Facade style matchup, but when he got caught in the grasp of that man right there, Logan Shulo, there was nothing more he could do. Big time victory for Logan Shulo. But Michael Facade, nothing to be ashamed about either. And Facade, a very forceful handshake, letting him know that maybe next time the outcome will be a little bit different. But Logan Shulo, big time win in a very young but blossoming career here in IWC to kick off November Pain 2008.
Group implode.
And Vicky enters the ring, and it appears she has requested some time. Jimmy DeMarco would not lay down for Mickey Gambino in a title tournament qualifier. That led to the split between the Hollywood Balls and the Gambino brothers. What's Vicky's take? We don't know till now.
For the past 2 years, the family has owned IWC.
They've dominated.
We won countless titles. We have won so many wrestlers out of here. We owned IWC. We were on top of the world. I told a few months ago. You know what changed a few months ago? You people changed a few months ago. You started cheering Jimmy. You confused Jimmy. You gave him a false sense of security. He thought he didn't need the family.
What the fuck is she talking about?
We need Jimmy.
She's talking.
The family is together.
We apologize for the verbiage of our promoter if that's up on the air. And here come the brothers. 5-time and current reigning tag champions, Mickey and Marshall, interrupting Vicky, blaming the fans for the Gambino implosion.
Will you please shut up?
Uh-oh. Looks like we got more problems.
You see, lately there's been a lot of things real wrong for the Gambinos. Number one, we set a record of being 5-time IWC Tag Team Champions that went unnoticed. You see, champions like Marshall and I just don't fall off the trees every day. And then we got Jimmy DeMarco, who tells Marshall and I he's going to do the right thing, that he's going to lay down, that he's going to let me be in the heavyweight tournament. And all the while he was training and getting ready because he knows that only on my worst day and his best day did he have a chance against me. And now you haven't been answering calls or anything for the past couple of weeks. What you gotta do is right now, you gotta learn to take a side because you see, you're gonna learn a lesson here. Jimmy and Vendetta were part of the most vicious faction in over 20 years. And what the sad part is now they're going to be victims of it. Because Jimmy, Vendetta, we know where your houses are, and well, the record speaks for itself.
Threatened another hit.
Whoa, hey.
And here comes the new cult sensation of IWC, Delicious Jimmy DeMarco, with Hollywood Ball partner Vendetta. And can you believe this ovation?
Most people, when they see Jimmy DeMarco walk into a room, they run.
Do me a favor, make that Chucky ho shut up. Don't be mad, Marshall. I'm talking about Vicky.
First of all,
I really don't care who you're sleeping with. You can sleep with any one of them. That's fine. But more importantly, you want to talk about vicious. The only reason you ever held those IWC Tag Team titles is because of me and because of, more specifically, Jimmy DeMarco.
They were instrumental in a lot of defenses.
You owed him an opportunity to compete for the IWC Heavyweight Championship, but you took that away from him. And as they say, boys, in the industry, payback's a bitch.
And the implosion is on. We have a Gambino family war in the center of the ring, and Mickey and Marshall want nothing to do with it. Ferrari is out of the ring. Vicky is out of the ring. And the C4 to Flexor, the former flunky to DeMarco.
Which of all the people to C4, I guess it was just the only one he could grab. I mean, Flexor helped him train for the matches.
The family is out of here and more divided than ever. And it appears we're going to see a tag team collision later tonight. But can you believe the popularity of Jimmy DeMarco, Farnsworth?
I'm flabbergasted. I'm dumbfounded. I'm in shock.
All because DeMarco wouldn't fall in line and lay down. Oh, wait a second now. What is this? We recognize that voice. That is the Big Daddy of Destruction, J-Rock. But what business does he have out here right now?
Oh, looks like he brought his protege with him.
This next contest is scheduled for one ball. Introducing first, making his way to the ring, escorted by J-Rock, weighing in at 322 pounds, Shane Taylor.
Well, Chuck may have announced Shane Taylor's.
His opponent,
Wait a second.
part of the family, Flexor.
Flexor is the opponent?
If he were awake to hear that, he may have pooped himself.
After receiving the candy-coated cookie cutter, and after being annihilated by Loki a couple of weeks ago, he's got a match with 350-plus pounds of Shane Taylor? Well, Steve Coulter's calling for the bell. We got a match. And Shane Taylor has Flexor, who may or may not even realize where he is right now, over at Suplex. We saw Taylor have a war with Raymond Rowe in the first round of the heavyweight title tournament. Well, you heard J-Rocker, but perhaps you didn't. J-Rock saying this is not a match, it's a massacre. And he's right.
I'd listen to him if I were you. At home, give it up one time.
Shane Taylor measuring Flexor. A neck-jarring clothesline. And this was never a contest to begin with.
Your winner, Shane Taylor.
Shane Taylor comes out and picks up the pieces in violent fashion of Flexor. Farnsworth, Flexor is out cold.
Flexor was out cold before the match began. I think he's probably lucky that he was out cold for most of it.
Shane Taylor, in just about a minute or so, annihilates a member of the most dangerous faction in IWC history. That, regardless of circumstances, says something. J-Rock has trained Shane Taylor to be his new machine and implement of destruction, and that's exactly what we've seen here. The new Cleveland Mafia may be more dangerous than ever. to come from Dayton, Ohio, and all of Ohio?
Apparently.
Well, these Ohio natives, as if you couldn't guess, are the most critically acclaimed tag team to never wrestle in IWC. And I'm looking very much forward to seeing them grace our rings at the Court Time Sports Center for the very first time against perhaps the most decorated tag team dynasty in Pittsburgh history.
Oh, they do know how to decorate, don't they?
Just Idol enjoyed a tremendous reign as tag team champions throughout the summer and early fall. However, the Gambino family at night 2, a promotional consideration paid for by the following, captured the belts for the 5th time. Bobby Williams signals for the bell. We're underway. This is a big time, Jay Worth, tag team championship contenders matchup. Irish Airborne want to get right into the running by beating the former champs. Sexual Harassment want to earn a rematch at the Gambinos.
You're going to take a bite, take a big bite. You want to get noticed in IWC. A win over Sexual Harassment's the way to do it.
Airborne have competed at the best and biggest promotions throughout the state of Ohio. They've competed frequently for Ring of Honor in the past as well. But finally, after many years of tearing up the Ohio independent circuit, they finally made their way to IWC, and that is Dave Crist in the ring right now with Eric Ecstasy. Of course, Dave Crist and Jake Crist, Irish Airborne, are indeed brothers. Tag is now into Jake wearing the green. The Airborne have been known for high-impact, high-flying offense. The Irish Air Raid, their signature maneuver, a great tag team combo, near suicidal-like offense in the ring, and that's exactly what they try to do time in and time out, and they've built a tremendous reputation from it.
Well, I was going to point out, it seems these two teams sort of on other ends of the spectrum. Sexual Harassment known for a little bit of levity, trying to get into their opponents' heads and whatnot, whereas the Irish Airborne, just raw physicality. If they're getting into your head, it's through your scalp. So,
well, this is no laughing matter right now for Sexual Harassment. They got serious to get the gold. They found the missing piece to the puzzle, which was the original Sexual Harassment signature move, the Strawberry Surprise. Now they've had a taste on top and lost it. They know what to do to get there. They just need to do it again, but it's going to be tough to replicate against the most highly talked about tag team in the Midwest today. Dave Crist back in the legal man. I don't believe we've seen a tag yet from Sexual Harassment. We've seen a couple from Irish Airborne. That'll be a telling thing to watch as this match progresses.
Yeah, separating the ring, classic tag team strategy, keeping the one member away from their partner, away from the tag.
Well, of course, the crowd definitively behind Sexual Harassment. They've watched this team grow and evolve, some since the formation of Sexual Harassment in the early part of the decade, and Dave Crist with a running chinlock.
It's a rarity you see that anymore, the running chinlock.
Well, indeed. Dave Crist faking out our fans, perhaps Eric Ecstasy as well. Justin Idol trying to get our capacity crowd back into Camp Sexual Harassment here. But Dave Crist is just basically grounding Ecstasy. Oh, this is maybe the first meeting, if not one of the first, between Airborne and Harassment. Certainly Airborne want to play to their strength. They're also very skilled mat technicians. They come from the Dayton, Cincinnati, Ohio area. Just think about the great athletes that come from in and around that area who are masters of the mat. Guys like Les Thatcher from the past, maybe a bit new age like Nigel McGuinness. Guys like that. These are the individuals the Airborne have been around through their entire career, especially their infancy and most impressive times.
I was going to say, Chris Hero also started from around that area.
Absolutely. And Jake Crist just pounding away on Ecstasy. As you mentioned a little bit ago, Jay Ward, also highly, highly physical in between those ropes. Airborne know how to hit you very, very hard.
Well, the Irish are known for fighting, and I, as a fellow son of Ireland, can tell you, I mean, we all know how to fight.
You've never been in a fight in your life.
I've been in many fights, I'll have you know.
Dave Crist certainly putting Eric Ecstasy through quite the fight right now. Tag back into Jake. Again, frequent tags, about a half dozen from Airborne, not one from sexual harassment.
I was in a fight half an hour ago with Vicky Gambino over who gets the last non-dairy creamer.
Please, we've moved on, sir.
I've been in fights.
Great bridge on the hammerlock by Jake Crist. Jake Crist using all of Crist's own weight against Ecstasy. All 200-some pounds of Jake Crist pulling the arm and shoulder of Ecstasy in the opposite direction it was meant to go. Very smart match savvy by Team Airborne. And again, this is not the way sexual harassment wanted to start their post-championship career here, as Idol has gotten barely a taste of competition here, and Ecstasy has not been able to get to his corner.
Oh.
Hard strikes by Ecstasy, but Crist comes right back, and you can hear the impact. Jake Crist is not letting up. And we've heard about Irish Airborne, blind tag made. Dave Crist sweeps the legs of Idol. Idol may have landed wrong on his ankle. Crist flies through with a suicide dive. Jake in the ring with a hurricane run. We've heard
Screw suicide dive. That was something you don't see every day.
And check out Dave, springs back in the ring, right back on top of Ecstasy, and drives down with a cover, and he gets 2.5. And we've heard about the reputation for Irish Airborne for so long. Their debut has been highly touted. Their debut has been much anticipated. Finally, we get it here, and Airborne are making the most of this opportunity. Like him or not, they're taking one of IWC's best and breaking them down.
And you have to believe Eric Ecstasy, normally seeing someone smaller than him. Oh! Not used to getting the purple nurple, so to speak.
The double nurple, shades of IWC alumnus Trevor Lowe.
But anyway, you have to believe Eric Ecstasy, seeing someone smaller than him in the ring, not used to thinking, well, they're going to come at me with a lot of firepower. Probably this is setting him off his game a little bit, and he hasn't had the chance to adjust. And when you're that big and you're taking a beating, it's that much harder to get your wind back and get that second burst of energy.
And we've seen sexual harassment overcome big-time teams before, both within the company and elsewhere. They've beaten just about every former tag team champion IWC has that's been active in the past 2 years, and they hold a pinfall victory over the Motor City Machine Guns.
Which not a lot of people can claim.
But Jake Crist, again, just riding Eric Ecstasy. Again, Crist has perfect weight positioning. All of Jake Crist's weight is pushing down on Eric Ecstasy. Eric cannot get to his feet.
No comment.
Bobby Williams quickly in position, as he's been this entire contest, to detect a submission as Crist swings around now into a chancery. And can you imagine the impatience that must be running through the head of Justin Idol right now?
You can tell he is dying to get in the ring.
Ecstasy tries to muscle his way to his corner, but Dave Crist distracts the official long enough for the tag to not be detected. And now the Airborne with a double team. And there was no tag in the Airborne team, January.
Referee Lenny Friedman did not see the tag. You cannot allow that.
Who?
Did I get that wrong? Lenny Frederick?
Dave Crist in control right now of Eric Ecstasy once again, as Ecstasy has wrestled this entire matchup, and Airborne starting to feel pretty good about themselves right now.
Well, they should. I mean, they've put the boots to sexual harassment for the better part of, what, 5-10 minutes now.
Well, check this out. Ecstasy goes with him and hard down with a choke slam. And Ecstasy has a moment to breathe. And with our current tag team champions worry more about personal infighting than defending the gold, whoever can win this matchup may have a free pass to a title reign. But can Ecstasy buy a free pass to his corner? Idol wants it. The crowd wants it. But can they get it? Tag to Idol. And the aerial icon is in the ring, and he has enough energy to compensate both members of Irish Airborne. Idol's been waiting for this moment for some 10 some odd minutes, and he's making the best of it. Ecstasy collides with Jake Crist in the corner. Sexual harassment, a one-team slingshot with a forearm. Jake Crist is dazed. And watch Dave. Knee lift, backbreaker.
That could be it.
Shoulders are down for two, and sexual harassment showing their combo offense, showing what made them rise to the top of the IWC. Countered by Crist, super kick. And now Dave Crist, hammerlock, back suplex, cover, and Eric interrupts.
And I am pretty sure Idol was out on his back at that point. That was a great save by the bisexual bulldozer.
The pace quickens, but harassment keeping up, despite the fatigue of Eric Ecstasy. And he just suplex Jake Crist onto his brother Dave Crist. Not sure if that was intentional or not, but by any means it was damn sure effective. And it may be time for the Strawberry Surprise. It was the missing piece before. Can it bring them back to tag team contention? They did it. The Strawberry Surprise. Idol in the cover. Crist is down, and they got him.
Here are your winners, Sexual Harassment.
I've said very few people have ever beaten the Motor City Machine Guns. I'd say probably even less have gotten out of the Strawberry Surprise.
Eric Ecstasy and Justin Idol go back to the one move that brought them to the championship level. Will it be the same story this time? Obviously, they're not going to win the belts this time with the Strawberry Surprise, but could it get them the title shot they need to become two-time champions? That's what Sexual Harassment is hoping. But Jay Worth, what about the debut of Irish Airborne?
How can you not be impressed? They came out and just beat the living crap out of Sexual Harassment for a good 10 minutes. I hope to see him back here in IWC.
Another red-hot component added to IWC's ultra-competitive tag division. Could Sexual Harassment be the next contenders, and can Irish Airborne be the next members of the full-time roster? Oh, wait a second, Farnsworth. Looks like Chuck Roberts' announcements of future shows has been rather unceremoniously interrupted by an individual he has quite a bit of history with. The five-time IWC Heavyweight Champion, Dennis Gregory, could not become the Heavyweight Champion thrice because of an upset loss to the one and only cult favorite, Delicious Jimmy DeMarco.
Ladies and gentlemen, your uninvited guest and former champion, Dennis Gregory.
And you know, ever since Gregory lost that tournament, which he has dubbed the Dennis Gregory Invitational, he has been in a different state of mind. He has been irate. He has been a madman. Dennis Gregory wants nothing more than the success of being IWC champion.
I know this isn't my allotted time right now, and I know time stands still for no man, unless, of course, that man is Dennis Gregory. 2 weeks, I got hacksaw Jim Duggan. I'm gonna take that trusty 2x4, shove it up his ass, give him a Heimlich, and he's gonna be perfect toothpicks.
Shiima Xion earned it.
And my fellow Americans, the reason why I'm out here instead of the second half where I belong is I can't wait. Because 10 years ago, I wrestled up in Erie, Pennsylvania, successfully defended the Steel City Heavyweight Championship. And all during that match, some little jag-off was sitting ringside, probably his parents paid for his ticket, mouthing off, flapping his gums, trying to get under the full-time champ skin. That little jag-off was the yet-to-become fabulous John McChesney. So after that match, I walked out, grabbed my title, smacked that jag-off in the face, and went on being the greatest champ ever in the history of Steel City Wrestling. So I'm tired of waiting. I can't wait till after you guys fight rotten-ass pizza, sell popcorn, and flat soda pop. I'm doing it now. Bring me a rep. Bring me a fabulous, not some average run-in-the-middle everyday McChesney. Bring me a fabulous McChesney. And let me whip that jag-off's ass. Now it's legal, like I should have taken.
But we're not wasting any time. McChesney hits the ring.
10 years ago, he deserved an ass whooping, and right now, IWC, I'm gonna whoop his ass for you.
Gregory from behind. This matchup has started impromptu. Not even the point of the show it's scheduled. Gregory had a chain wrapped around his fist, for crying out loud. And Gregory and McChesney is underway, and they discussed it 10 years ago. Gregory wrestled for Steel City Wrestling, the precursor to IWC. McChesney got crushed. It was watching Dennis Gregory that made John McChesney decide he wanted to be a wrestler. Fast forward 9 years, John McChesney, the lackey of Dennis Gregory in the War Machine, helping Dennis Gregory retain and indeed regain the IWC Heavyweight Title. But the lack of respect and lack of credit from the 5-time champion towards the fabulous one was enough to cause a rift. And Gregory, my God, is emptying plunder. McChesney, what is that?
He just spiked him.
Was that a screwdriver? This match is over. Gregory pulling out the tools of our ring crew here, and he just spiked him again. This match was over before it started.
You know, of all the people in the back that you don't want to get angry at you, Dennis Gregory's at the top of the list. Fab should have been a little smarter about this.
Well, Gregory definitely had a premeditated plan, and he's not stopping either. Continuing to rip away at John McChesney. And you remember back to Ellsworth Baseball when McChesney said, Dennis Gregory, there's one man you haven't beaten. I think Dennis Gregory knows there's one man that can beat him at this point, and that's John McChesney, hence this attack.
And if you know what, there's a man that can beat you. You take him out before he gets the chance.
This is sadistic. Gregory, it looks like he's got a screwdriver in his hand. He's been ripping away at McChesney's flesh. This matchup barely got started before Gregory crossed the line. There you see the weapon get thrown into the ring. We need some help for John McChesney. Gregory with a preemptive strike. We got help out here for McChesney. Members of our locker room that have a lot of respect for McChesney, standing up for himself and Dennis Gregory and all that he's been able to do these past several months, coming into his own once again, rediscovering himself. And Dennis Gregory going way over the line and clearly not only thrown over the edge from losing his heavyweight championship, but thrown over the edge at probably realizing that John McChesney is the one man that may know Dennis Gregory better than
Can we
anybody.
get the doctor? Dr. Nick, could you please head to the back, please? Dr. Nick, thank you.
And John McChesney seriously hurt. Had that screwdriver driven right into that forehead numerous times. McChesney, I believe, is lacerated. We've called the doctor. And he can't even stand at this point. Just a metal screwdriver driven squarely into his head. Who knows how many times.
I counted at least 3.
Dennis Gregory doing whatever he can here to make a statement. But once John McChesney's back to 100%, this war has hit a new plateau.
Whoa, hold on. John McChesney was at 100%. John McChesney walked into that ring, accepted a challenge, and paid a price higher than he was expecting. But still, when you step into that ring, action happens.
And it's needless to say, DQ on the match. Introducing first, making his IWC return, fans, he's the Cuban crippler, Ricky Reyes.
The man who's been known for years as the Rottweiler, the Havana Pitbull, Ricky Reyes, is now going by the moniker of the Cuban crippler, and I can't think of a more appropriate tagline for someone as deadly and dangerous as Ricky Reyes. Reyes a last-minute substitution for Loki, who had transportation issues and could not appear here tonight. What is the frame of mind of Reyes leading into, in just a few hours' notice, one of the most physical matches in his recent memory? That revolutionized high-flying professional wrestling in mainstream North American pro wrestling. Too Cold Scorpio makes his return to IWC after some 9-10 month absence. He had thought originally he'd be facing the one and only Warrior Loki, but Ricky Reyes is not a step down in competition by any stretch. Similar style, similar mindset, similar discipline, perhaps even more dangerous.
I was going to say a little less kick your chest in, a little more twist your head off.
Too Cold Scorpio, a storied career, perhaps one of the most underrated athletes. He's a former ECW World Tag Team Champion, 4-time World Television Champion, and a man that brought maneuvers and styles to mainstream North American wrestling, first in WCW and later in the WWF with Splash Funk, that had never before been seen on this continent. And both men are set for what is sure to be a very physical war. Scorpio having a good time, stepping his way to the ring, but no laughing matter when the bell rings and this matchup starts. And if you're Scorpio and if you're Ricky Reyes, what's the mindset right now? Scorpio was preparing for another athlete. Ricky Reyes thought he had the night off. Now they are both thrust into this unique situation. There's a little bit of stepping by Scorpio.
Could we see a dance-off?
I've seen some attempts to get Ricky Reyes into a dance-off before. Hasn't worked too well.
Yeah, if anyone can do it.
Reyes, as long as I've known him, has been all business in between the ropes. And both these men tie up. Scorpio, recent years, made a healthy living for himself, both in Europe, especially in Japan, specifically for Pro Wrestling Noah. Ricky Reyes, just returning from a tour of Japan, just several days ago. Both these men very well world traveled. Now look at the big time bragging rights here this evening. Reyes missed the IWC title tournament due to those Japanese commitments. Wants to get back into contendership for that championship. Scorpio wants to work his way back onto IWC's main roster.
True.
Scorpio has a leverage advantage. He's carrying more body weight. Reyes tries to roll through, get some momentum on his side. Counters through and has the arm and shoulder trap, bending back on that shoulder and trying to dislocate that elbow as well.
Reyes calling for that quick submission, but doesn't seem to be enough to take out the score.
And check out the speed of Scorpio. Hasn't lost a step. And I think that caught even Ricky Reyes a little bit off guard.
And make no doubt about it, we know Reyes can go toe-to-toe with people with speed. I just don't think he was expecting it there.
Referee Bobby Williams trying to keep Scorpio away from the ropes here, keep this matchup clean. And Reyes is a bit frustrated here. And we've seen Reyes up his intensity and up his mean streak these past several months that he's been here. Whether it was against a guy like Ray Rowe or John McChesney, Dennis Gregory, Ricky Reyes has somehow found even more intensity and brought it out. And you can see him torquing back with that Fujiwara armbar. Scorpio very quickly gets to the ropes. Both these men know how lethal the other one is in a variety of styles, not taking their eyes off of one another yet. The focus, the precision of all of their movements, very evident. The tie-up. Scorpio pulling the wrist, sweeps the leg. One seamless motion, has the leg trap.
Looks like he might have a knee bar on. Possibly an ankle lock.
Has that leg grapevine, and Reyes again gets to the ropes. That's not a move of cowardice. That is an intelligent safe haven in this encounter. Ricky Reyes again, just 12 hours ago, did not realize he was competing tonight. He's got to get himself into a very scary, dark frame of mind, and very quickly.
There is a mindset that you have to get into where you accept, realize, and even look forward to and agree to do some pretty horrible things to another human being.
And Reyes is always at the top of his game, religiously in the gym. If it wasn't for sleep, I don't know if Ricky Reyes wouldn't be in the gym 24/7. He is that dedicated. And Reyes now with a sweep on Scorpio. And Too Cold is down.
And you notice Scorp, smart, covers up his head and gets his arms up above him so that he can try and protect and not get his arms ensnared too easily. Oh.
And another thing, keep in mind, I think Scorpio has got to have done his research. We've seen Reyes finish matches with blunt force elbow and knee strikes right to the head. You gotta believe if Reyes has the opportunity to do that tonight, he will.
Crossface.
And the Cuban crippler is in a crossface thanks to Too Cold Scorpio. But Reyes again gets to the bottom rope, necessitating a break. Very smart strategy. And again, you can see the focus in the facial expression of Scorpio. Nobody's taking their eye off the ball, and Reyes is playing it cautious at the moment. This is a rather defensive matchup thus far, but justifiably so.
Yeah, very true. Hey, I don't blame Reyes for taking as much time as he needs in the ropes. As long as the ref ain't counting or threatening to disqualify him, let everything heal up. Get a little chance to get some blood back in there.
hammerlock by Reyes. Reyes, the shorter of the two athletes, able to slip in underneath Scorpio a little bit easier and apply a hammerlock, but he's not behind Scorpio to fully apply the pressure. But great roll through now, and he's now over top of Scorpio, which this is good. Al beginning to wrench back.
Looking for a cross arm breaker, but Scorp has hold, trying to block it.
Keep in mind, Reyes has studied professional wrestling, mixed martial arts, studied under legendary Antonio Inoki. Few men know their technical prowess quite like Ricky Reyes. Scorpio again reverses the pressure, back on top. Double-handed hammerlock, but Reyes clasps his hands together and pushes that arm back where it's meant to go in front of his body. And Scorpio, again, just trying to ride Reyes. Scorpio, for someone with his style, he's a very heavy guy. He's probably about 230 pounds or so. That's a lot of weight to be on top of you. Reyes, I believe, would probably be around that 205 to 210 range. Scorpio using every pound to his advantage, as we've seen a couple of times already tonight.
And he's making Reyes work to get out of this.
Check out the balance by Reyes.
A lot of energy.
Reyes counters out seamlessly into the rear chin lock. Scorpio got to make sure his shoulders aren't trapped. You could very easily pin somebody with a reverse chin lock or a side headlock if you catch the guy off his game. And with such an intricately wrestled match here, it's not that far out of the question. Someone could have a little lapse of concentration trying to think ahead.
Well, and, you know, to bring up the inverse of the point you had made, you had said Reyes 12 hours ago didn't know he was wrestling. Well, Scorp walked into this building assuming he was facing someone else entirely. And while they do have a similar style, low-key is not Ricky Reyes is not low-key.
Right.
And so really they're both at a disadvantage, and I think the winner is going to be whoever figures out how to take advantage of this sooner.
Great point. Right now, Scorpio headbutting Reyes down to the canvas. And you can see that forearm connect flush to the side of the jaw of the Cuban crippler. Keep in mind, Reyes, former IWC Heavyweight Champion, held that belt about 8 months. Made Homicide tap out, made Low-Key tap out. Brent Albright, Shirley Doe, Larry Sweeney, some of the toughest athletes in the history of this company. Reyes has overcome. Huge belly-to-belly, overhead suplex by Reyes as he got Scorpio coming in. Clothesline, Scorpio puts on the brakes, so Reyes is going to kick the hell out of him until he falls out of the ring. Head of steam with a drop kick, caught him low, and Scorpio hits hard.
You know,
10 minutes gone by in this match. 10 minutes.
Thank you, Chuck. You know, it's no easy thing to hit that rolling suplex when you're giving up that much of a height advantage. Really an impressive show of strength by Ricky Reyes.
Reyes may have been signaling for the end a moment ago, but he's got to get Scorpio back in the ring first. Keep in mind Scorpio's ECW history. He could shine fairly well on the outside of the ring.
He's very good friends with former IWC and ECW heavyweight champion, the Sandman. We know he's picked up a thing or two from being outside of the squared circle.
Reyes, former championship partner with him as well, really. But as Reyes begins to fire away at Scorpio, almost back into the front row. And you could see the intensity, and you could hear the impact. Is this enough, however? Scorpio gets the right shoulder up.
And that might have been a mistake by Reyes. He had him laying prone. I think he would have been looking for the submission there. He could have gotten a rear naked choke, or maybe even gone for the dragon sleeper. Now a triangle choke on him.
Right, modified scissors over the head neck of Scorpio. Not going to get a submission here, but you are going to wear down Scorpio. You're going to soften up that neck for, as you said, the dragon sleeper. Tenderize the anatomy, so to speak. But Scorpio with a great roll through, and he's back on top of Reyes, pulling back on the arm and shoulder. And you can see the pain etched on the face of Ricky Reyes.
just rowing as hard as he can.
But will Reyes submit?
Reyes is up a certain creek.
Whether he submits or not, certainly it's going to hinder Reyes as this match progresses. It takes a lot of mobility in the arm and shoulder to rear back for those forearms or those upper body strikes. And it takes a large degree of upper body strength to cinch in the Dragon Sleeper. Huge takedown by Scorpio on Ricky Reyes, as it's now advantage to Cole.
And you saw just how twisted around Ricky Reyes' arms were. Just how much damage was done to that shoulder joint we have yet to see.
Scorpio, check this out. Double spring with the Arabian moonsault. Beautifully done. In line off pass near fall. And that is trademark Scorpio offense. And it almost put away Ricky Reyes.
Oh, Scorp has that trademarked? Sabu owes him a lot of money. Wow.
Scorpio, all kidding aside, doing what he does best, takes to the air, suplex, gets a near fall. And if Scorpio can bust out maneuvers like that, like a 450 tumbleweed, what have you, that could be Scorpio's key to victory. Just drops Reyes down face first. Use those knees to trap Reyes' face and head and just drive him down into the canvas. And again, Reyes is prone. Of course, the Scorpio offense. Scorpio's feeling it. Could it be 450? Check it out. No! Huge splash. The top. Spreads out his body weight, gets a near fall.
And Reyes had enough in the reserve to get out of that.
Was not enough as Scorpio starts to take bigger chances.
Well, I think Scorpio knows he's not gonna get a win out of a combination of little moves. He's gonna need that big put-away maneuver to take away someone like Reyes. Oh.
Nobody helping a suplex. Reyes with a German with a bridge. And almost a count of three again. Beautiful back bridge by Reyes. Oh, Scorpio's weight on
15 minutes gone by, 15 minutes.
On Scorpio's own shoulders, but it wasn't enough to get three. Bobby Williams with the obligatory 10 count. Reyes back to his feet, however. As the matchup continues to intensify, you can see the pain and punishment that Reyes' body has been through. Racked with pain. Scorpio
fighting his way up.
Trying to form his way to his feet, but Reyes met Scorpio straight boot to the face. Could this be all? No. Another picture-perfect pinfall by Ricky Reyes, but it wasn't enough to put down Scorpio.
Scorp laying there smelling soul food. Big boot to the face.
And Reyes with a big-time opportunity here. Scorpio's out on his feet. Northern Light suplex. Another beautiful bridge, but Scorpio interrupts the bridge and is able to slide the shoulder up. And Reyes, could it be determination? Could it be frustration? Either way, Reyes sees his target in the crosshairs and is staying on Scorpio. And now the trademark Reyes offense with a sharp kick right to the chest. And again, our crowd is split. They respect both these athletes. They respect the effort, respect the sacrifice. And only one man can reign supreme.
And Reyes just daring Scorp to try and get back to his feet.
And Scorpio does. Scorpio shrugs off those kicks somehow. And now, mid-ring slugfest. Reyes is feeling it. Scorpio's feeling it. Both men psyching themselves up here. Both men pushing away the pain. And Scorpio was a hair quicker with a straight kick to the bridge of the nose.
There's no such thing as turns in pro wrestling. Scorp just took advantage.
Boot scrape in the corner as the intensity that Reyes just felt a moment ago is beginning to waver thanks to Scorpio pressing the advantage. Knee strike, up and down with that modified Pele kick. Reyes is down, look at the leg, and up. Bobby Williams only finds 2. What can keep either of these men down? And Scorpio may feel the end is fast approaching. Time to fly. Twisting splash, mid-air adjustment for 2. Again, Reyes escapes. Can you believe the heart and the fire of the Cuban crippler?
Reyes, if he's going to win it, has to win it soon. He can't take much more of this Scorpio-style offense, for lack of a better term.
Up to the Enziguri. Down low to take out the vertical base. And Reyes with a shining wizard. Down is Scorpio, but not out. A Muda-like strike, but was not enough.
That Muay Thai knee to the head, and it's given Reyes a chance to clear the cobwebs out and figure out that next move.
Could that next move be the final one? Perhaps Dragon Sleeper. The crowd wants to see it. Reyes wants to administer it. But does he have enough left? Or could this be something else? Scorpio perched on the top turnbuckle. And there's no way to land from this position that's going to feel good. Reyes going for a superplex. A belly to back superplex. But Scorpio fights his way free. And Reyes takes a hard fall.
Reyes is not where he wants to be.
Scorp's in his element. Moonsault, nobody home.
He almost hit Reyes. He almost hit our ring lights.
Watch Reyes. Roundhouse kick. Right to the external occipital protuberance. Second time, and Scorpio may be knocked out. This could be all. Reyes with a hook and another escape. As this matchup rapidly approaches 20 minutes, both men still have fight.
Not much, but they still have enough.
We are seeing a surefire IWC Classic as Reyes now signals for the Dragon Sleeper. Scorpio, if he wasn't unconscious before, he may be now. Scorpio, dazed look on his face, and Reyes has it. The sleeper, the scissors, this matchup's over. Scorpio may have already passed out. No, Scorpio maneuvering the left hand, trying to alleviate some pressure. Scorpio's broken the grass for the Dragon Sleeper.
How often do you see someone fight out of the Dragon Sleeper?
But Reyes comes back to the other arm. And Scorpio is back at square one. And Reyes' legs have been spread apart. He does not have good leverage on the body systems. Scorpio rolls over, and Scorpio pins Vicky Reyes. Classic textbook counter wrestling.
Here is your winner, Two Cold Scorpio.
Reyes is claiming that Scorpio passed out. Perhaps Scorpio passed out after he had rolled over into the pinfall. Reyes still had the sleeper on. He still had the sleeper on when Scorpio was on top of Reyes. I believe Scorpio passed out from the Dragon Sleeper after he'd already countered the weight.
Well, what's the ruling here?
The shoulders were counted. Scorpio's the victor. I gotta think. Reyes may have a gripe here. Scorpio's unconscious, but the fall was counted with his last bit of energy before passing out, Scorpio detected where he was, detected where Reyes was, and was able to roll over the weight. And Reyes, sensing Scorpio was about to pass out, would not release the hold. Talk about a dead heat.
You can see just how upset Ricky Reyes is. He is angry at the match, at himself, at the outcome.
Reyes passed out Scorpio. If this match had gone 3 seconds longer, Reyes would have won over Too Cold Scorpio by a knockout. And that is a hell of an impressive feat. But Scorpio somehow did it. And check out the look on Reyes' face. So close, but at the last second, it was that absent-mindedness, that momentary lapse of judgment to not realize his own shoulders were trapped. That's the only thing that beat Ricky Reyes. Ricky Reyes beat himself.
You can know the word you're looking for that look on Reyes' face is pissed. He is pissed. He refuses to shake hands. He is saying he wants one more time.
Reyes was so close. And again, the frustration we've seen from Reyes a couple of times in recent months is again coming to the surface. We know he's very intense. We know he takes this more seriously than perhaps anybody anywhere. But Ricky Reyes has to accept the fact, like it or not, that man in the ring, Too Cold Scorpio, was literally less than 3 seconds better. Dangerous and reckless individuals in IWC history. Former co-holder of the Tag Team Championship. A man that at one time tried to destroy the company from the inside. And a man who cornered me earlier and said I was not allowed to say his name in this match.
And I am told to remind you of that. Should I start hearing the beginning of it?
He is
Sebastian Dark, the bastard son of 1,000 corpses. However, you should be referring to him as Lord Xenu.
What?
Hey, not my role. Lord Xenu.
Well, that man in the ring may think he's Lord Xenu by the time his opposition is done with him. Deep-rooted personal hatred is at hand here. Super Hentai was the Tag Team Championship partner of
Sebastian Dark.
And they defeated the Midnight Express, Eaton and Condrey, to capture the IWC Tag Team Championship. They also were 2/3 of the Dangerous Unholy Alliance. They plagued IWC for a number of years. However, when Dennis Gregory took over the group and redubbed it the War Machine, Super Hentai refused to come along because he wanted to fight for what he believed in. Meanwhile,
Sebastian Dark
just took the money and the prestige and gave way to his personal ideas and decided to become another Dennis Gregory yes man. Hentai never forgot that, and tonight, Hentai wants to extract revenge on
Super. Hentai wants to extract revenge on who?
Yeah.
On who?
On who? Not Jim Neidhart, on the guy in the ring.
On
Lord Xenu.
I can't do all the work for you.
Yeah, really. Bell sounds are underway. And Sebastian Dark's upset. I mean, that guy.
Oh.
Can I just call him Vladimir Vampire?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
And Vlad may be getting impaled by the time this match is done because Super Hentai is always 100% adrenaline and intensity. Well, in Hentai's first round match and the title tournament against Sami Callihan. And with Dark draped across the steps, Hentai dives to the outside.
You know, you said a deep-seated hatred, but really, if you hate someone, you try and get them fired, or you prank call and send a bunch of pizzas to their house. This is so far beyond hatred. This is matter and antimatter running into each other.
You can hear the impact of that collision.
With a loud thud.
Dark was fired from IWC for about a year or so. The guy, Lord Xenu, Vladimir Vampire, the drunkard, the drunk guy. Hentai sent into the turnbuckle and now being choked away upon by Lord Xenu. Years after being banned from doing commentary, the bastard son of 1,000 corpses still finds ways to wreck IWC DVD broadcasts.
Hey, he can't do any more damage than I do, really.
Well, Hentai sent for the rod, followed through clothesline in the corner. Now fisherman suplex, beautiful bridge, 2-0.
If I didn't know better, I'd say Sebastian Dark just used a wrestling move there. You don't see that too often.
First time for everything. It's usually just beers and brawls when it comes to Lord Xenu. Wink, wink. Jawbreaker by Super Hentai. Up with the Hurricane Rana. Takedown, nicely done. And Hentai, the other guy that wants to get back into title contention. This show is so important, Farnsworth, because you have so many athletes fresh off of this championship tournament. The tag teams fresh off of the four-way tag team matchup. Super Indie competitors have a new champion. New title holders all across the board. And check this out, Hentai with the Davey Boy Smith. The running power slam into the hook of the leg and a near fall situation. But so many guys want to carve out their place on this roster. And from Facade and Shulo on up to men like Gregory and McChesney, they all want to be as good as they can be. Check this out, feet on the ropes, and Coulter quickly able to detect it.
And Sebastian Dark maybe getting into the head of Super Hentai there. That looked awfully close to the rolling northern lights that Super Hentai has been known to use.
Check this out.
Oh!
Triple knees in the corner, follow through with a back elbow.
Triple knees to the back.
And Hentai going up top. High-risk situation in one fell swoop, top turnbuckle, and Coulter got pushed into the ropes. Hentai lost his balance thanks to Dark or Vlad or whatever the hell he is.
Xenu.
Yeah.
Lord Xenu.
Superplex attempt. Hentai tries to fight his way free. Keep in mind the havoc that Dark caused Hentai for so long. Oh.
You can... I can hear the thud from here.
We're trying to lay out in the hopes you can hear this at home, because from the back of the building, you can hear the heads clunk together numerous times.
Look at the... Oh, my...
And the knees to the back again, and a cover. Is this going to be all? Hentai hooks the leg, and Hentai gets a very physical and violent victory.
Look at the goose head forming on... forming on Sebastian Dark's head.
Well, Dark abandoned Hentai to become a Dennis Gregory flunky some time ago, and finally tonight, he paid for it. You can see the damage done. Super Hentai takes care of his former tag team championship partner, Sebastian Dark, or Lord Xenu, who he may think he is right now.
And you're in so much trouble when he buys this DVD.
Super Hentai not in trouble though, big time victory. Super Hentai would love a shot at that Super Indie title. He narrowly escaped winning a couple of months ago. New champion Delirious may be in the crosshairs. And it looks like Super Hentai may have something to say.
I'm surprised he can speak after all those headbutts.
Let's hear from the first ever Super Indy champion. Our capacity crowd's been impressed by Hentai tonight. What about you, Jay Worth?
Consistently impressed.
For quite some time now, I've had something on my mind that I want to tell you fans. I'm going to start with Bubba, but apparently, yet again, Bubba is not here tonight.
IWC authority figure Bubba the Bulldog.
He could care less about the IWC. So, I turn my attention to you, Norm Connors. If you would be so inclined to step into the squared circle, I could address my problem. That's it. That's right. Come on, Norm, get in here. You don't miss a chance to get in this ring in front of this crowd. Come on. Get on in here.
Interesting to see what Hentai wants about from Norm Connors here.
Norm, earlier this year, you put the kibosh on the Super Indy tournament from 2009 on. That's it, no more. You know, with all due respect, Norm, I think that's a bunch of BS. I'm not going to beat a dead horse and reminded everybody that I was the inaugural winner of that tournament.
Help make that belt what it is, no doubt.
But Norm, just to enlighten you on the impact of that tournament, on how much that means, not just me, but the guys that get to come in and wrestle in that tournament. Let me shoot some names off to you. There was Christopher Daniels, AJ Styles, CM Punk, Paul Cabana, Chris Saban, Alex Shelley, the list goes on and on. Apparently, that tournament means more to this company, to this industry, than you think, Norm. So, I'm hoping that with the help of these fans, we can get that Super Indy title tournament reinstated for 2009.
Our crowd seems to want it. Is there life yet for the Super Indy tournament?
Norm is not one to change course on things.
No. I appreciate the fact, and I respect the fact that you're the first Super Indy champion, and that's why I've given you, over the last several months, more opportunities than anybody to regain that title. I agree that I really need to take this into consideration, and I think that 2009 maybe should be seeing a Super Indy champion again. But I'll tell you what, I have to be honest with you. It's been an emotional night for me, but don't thank me for this. Thank him.
Will Super Hentai be successful in restoring the legacy of Super Indy, the same legacy he tirelessly worked 1 year to build and establish? We will find out if Super Indy can return. Wait a second! Now what? CJ Sensation, who does not work here, he jumped the rail. He should be thrown out.
And know we always haven't seen eye to eye, but for once, I actually agree with you. You know, and all these people know that I was in the inaugural Super Indy tournament, and I don't feel I deserve to be in the next one.
Well, he doesn't even have a job here at Farnsworth. I don't think he's in a place to make that claim.
Well, then what a great way to get your job back. See what Hentai has to say about it.
That speaks louder than any words could.
You don't deserve to be in that final tournament. You need to earn your spot, kid.
Hentai lays down the law, and CJ Sensation remains out of a job. But will Hentai be single-handedly responsible for restoring the Super Indy tournament that he made famous?
About Miley Cyrus.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next tag team attraction is set for one fall, a 30-minute time limit, and it is for the IWC Tag Team Championships.
A couple of months ago in the IWC title tournament qualifying round, Mickey Gambino was paired up with Jimmy DeMarco. The Gambino family thought Jimmy DeMarco would be a good little pony and lay down and let Mickey move on to the next round. That was not to be.
The challengers, at a total combined weight of 418 pounds, they hail from Muscle City. They are Jimmy Delicious DeMarco, Bald Eagle Vendetta, the Hollywood Bulls.
After hearing a speech from IWC management's Bubba the Bulldog about not having any regrets and not having any wasted opportunities, Jimmy DeMarco thought twice about laying down for Mickey Gambino, and not only took the fight to his cousin, but defeated him to qualify for the IWC title tournament. A tournament DeMarco made it all the way to the final round of. DeMarco was seconds away from realizing a dream he didn't even know he had. And what about the career performance of Jimmy DeMarco Farnsworth, busting his head open on the guardrail, hurting himself? But I'll tell you this, a couple of individuals felt betrayed and slighted that DeMarco stood up for himself and thought of his own career first rather than just being a yes man.
I want to point out something real quick. I'm sorry to interrupt you. They're not waiting in the ring. They look like they're about ready to take the fight right from the jump. Here it goes!
This matchup is on already. Hollywood Balls, Gambino brothers. And as I was saying, Mr. Farnsworth, the Gambinos took exception to DeMarco standing up for himself, trying to further his own career. And at our title tournament promotional consideration, we found out for sure who stands where. The Gambinos showed up to assault Jimmy DeMarco during one of those tournament matches, where Bald Eagle Vendetta came out to save his tag team partner, and there's a huge rift down the middle of the most dominant, dangerous faction in IWC history.
And that rift is only getting wider as this match progresses on. These two are looking to just destroy each other. I should say these four. And standing at the entranceway, showing no allegiance to either side really, is Vicky Gambino.
Well, she's the sister. Oh, check this out. Hurricane Rana by DeMarco.
The Pearl River Hurricane Rana.
She's the sister of Mickey and Marshall. She's a cousin to Jimmy DeMarco. She has vested interest. She's been the manager of all these guys for many, many months. Marshall Gambino told Vicky earlier, oh, hello. Told Vicky earlier, you gotta pick a side. She has yet to, nor has Flexor or Ferrari. Should be interesting to see how that plays out. As I guess it's time to pick a side. Pick a side, Farnsworth. We're at war.
Well, honestly, how do you pick a side in this one?
That's tough. And I'm just amazed the fans have gravitated towards Jimmy DeMarco so highly. The biggest miscreant, deviant, antisocial, mentally challenged individual.
You forgot malcontent.
Exactly. There's a lot of adjectives that describe Jimmy. Many I can't say on this broadcast. But somehow, he's gotten this lovable, quirky quality that has made the crowd fall in love with him. He's a cult hero now.
And the thing is, he hasn't changed.
No.
He's still drawing genitals on things and leaving stuff in boxes, and it's the same Jimmy DeMarco that we've always run from.
Shoulders down, barely a count of 2. That's right. Jimmy DeMarco may be incapable of change, but the fans respect the fact that DeMarco stood up for himself and wanted to compete in the title tournament rather than lay down for the Gambinos like he has in the past. And I'll tell you this, to see him get punished for merely trying to further his career, I think the fans have been able to identify a lot with him and realize DeMarco is not drinking the Gambino Kool-Aid any longer. But that comes at a price.
Absolutely, and he is paying it right now with the repeated knuckles to the forehead.
And keep in mind, though, this is for the IWC Tag Team Championship. The Gambinos captured those belts at our last show in a 4-way matchup, beating Sexual Harassment, the Best Around, and the New Cleveland Mafia.
And you know, Jimmy DeMarco has been part of the gang beatings that the Gambinos have laid out for years. He knows what he has ahead of him for making the decision he made.
And they already made that threat. The Gambinos, Marshall, Mickey said earlier, they know where both Jimmy DeMarco and Vendetta live.
And really, this is the equivalent of moving to Hollywood and burning your return ticket. You have no choice but to sink or swim on this one. And so far, Jimmy DeMarco, swimming.
Hard knife edge chop, now manipulating the official. The Gambinos are second to none as far as tag team cohesion. 5-time tag team champions. No other duo has come close to that in IWC. But the Gambinos have done it. And listen to this crowd again come alive for delicious Jimmy DeMarco.
And let's make no mistake, they've done it because of their ability to stay one step ahead of the people who are trying to get in their way. Now all of a sudden, one of the people who has been part of their step ahead has stepped out of that. And now what step do they step at?
And we don't know what side half of this family's even at. We don't know where Flexor, Ferrari, and Vicky Gambino even stand.
And Vendetta, much like
C4 Marshall, straight on top of Mickey. Can DeMarco get the tag? Can Vendetta finish this off? Mickey got the poke in the eye. Vendetta, the legal man. Bald Evil is unleashed.
He was dying to get into the ring.
Volley slam, beautifully done. And Vendetta been upset with his spot in the family for a while now. We've seen him complaining about being on the back burner, not getting major singles matchup. This is Vendetta unleashed. Vendetta perhaps finally living up to his mountain of potential.
Vendetta finally realized that the one person that truly respects him out of the family is delicious Jimmy DeMarco. And he made the right choice, I think, as far as which
look out! Buster at 300 pounds!
Which basket to put his eggs into.
Well, they always had such a bizarre relationship. DeMarco would act the way he always acts. Vendetta would just shake his head and put up with it. But it seems there is a mutual respect there. And DeMarco gonna fly on top of Marshall. But watch Mickey from behind. Mickey catches Vendetta with a knee. And again, this matchup is losing all semblance of order. Fisherman Buster, nicely done. Could Mickey retain the tag titles here? No. Can you imagine DeMarco
5 minutes gone by, 5 minutes.
split away from the family and then go on to win the tag team titles on his first opportunity solo?
Can you imagine what he'd do to the belts?
Oh God. Can you imagine what's going to happen to him if he doesn't succeed? If the Gambinos get their hands on him? A lot of lingering questions here. And Vendetta's hurt right now. And they're targeting Jimmy DeMarco again. It looks like DeMarco's been busted open on the top of his head. Curse of the Gambino countered. DeMarco with a scissors. Mickey got caught. Vendetta muscles Mickey to the corner. Double team, but Marshall counters with a spear. Looked like a double team C4 coming, but it was not to be.
Oh.
Look out. Vendetta set up. Double backbreaker. Down with a slam. The Gambinos take over again. Could this be all? No, DeMarco interrupts as Vendetta kicks out simultaneously. But the family are the aggressors. The remaining members of the family have been dominant thus far. They've always held that power over DeMarco and Vendetta. And now they're showing it physically that DeMarco's fighting Marshall. That unorthodox, deviant behavior coming out of DeMarco again.
Hey, it's worked for him. Why change the tune if everyone's still dancing?
And now we're look at DeMarco. He's got a crutch right across the back of Marshall. A crutch, a cane, something like that.
We'll go with cane.
And it worked.
You gotta have something to hit Marshall with. Lord knows fists alone don't do the trick.
Marshall hits the post.
Oh,
Vendetta in the ring with the Uranagi. Mickey's down. Look out! Marshall's got DeMarco on the ramp. Look out! Good God, the steel! DeMarco's body bends across the steel ramp. Marshall calls that. He calls that 6 inches from hell. I think DeMarco has been introduced to hell in the form of that steel ramp. DeMarco and they're both at Ferrari's on there, on the apron.
pleading with
Flexor
has the briefcase open.
We've seen that utilized before.
What did he hand him?
We saw that chest whip. Some kind of
knuckle.
That looked like brass knuckle. Some kind of object. Referee didn't see it, and the Gambinos retain the title.
Well, I think we know where Flexor and Ferrari stands.
It would seem to be, but does Vicky agree?
Ladies and gentlemen, your winners and still IWC Tag Team Champions, Mickey and Marshall, the Gambino brothers.
Flexor and Ferrari are together on the corner of the ring, but Vicky's not with them. She's still on her own. Did she know about that? And does she agree with it? She doesn't seem too happy.
Yeah, it seems Flexor and Ferrari sort of running. And I don't blame them. An angry Vicky Gambino is something to get away from.
The Gambinos retain the titles, but the family is still split. DeMarco may have a broken back, and we still don't know where Vicky stands. The Gambino family infighting just keeps continuing and keeps escalating. Jimmy DeMarco and Vendetta are men on their own, but the gold, the gold and the power still lies with the abbreviated family.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening, except for one fall, a 45-minute time limit, and that is for the IWC Championship.
Farnsworth, arguably the biggest upset of IWC's title tournament weekend, came at the hands of Shiima Xion, defeating the baddest man in IWC and what many people had pegged the odd favorite for victory, Ray Rowe.
Introducing first, the challenger. He hails from Cleveland, America. Weighing
11 months after his first title opportunity. There is no J-Rock. There is no Jason Bain. There is no Shane Taylor in this equation. The meteoric rise of Shiima Xion from tag team specialist to heavyweight champion just 2 weeks ago.
What I would like to point out is during that semifinal match, Ray Rowe offered Shima a chance to have the beating stopped. He turned it down and he went on to win. I don't expect to see any mercy from Ray Rowe tonight.
That was indeed a great point, Farnsworth. That was the decision-making moment of that matchup. Ray Rowe felt the passion, something we've barely ever seen from him. He wanted Shiima Xion to lay down. Shima wouldn't. And Ray Rowe ultimately paid a big price for it. Shiima Xion overcame Justin Idol, John McChesney, Ray Rowe, and Jimmy DeMarco in just one weekend for unquestionably the biggest win of his singles career, of his career period. And Farnsworth, if you saw his post-show comments on the internet or on IWC DVD, Shiima Xion nearly overcome with emotion as the moment sunk in and Shima realized what he had accomplished.
Shiima Xion is so proud of the fact that he won the title, it's almost incomprehensible to him that he did win it. I'm not even sure it has sunk in yet. However, it has to sink in pretty quickly. Because if he is not 100% focused on retaining that title, he's not going to be able to get past Ray Rowe.
The referee assigned this match is Steven Coulter, who shows both men the prize at stake and raises the belt high.
That's Steven Coulter.
The calm before the storm, Farnsworth, as Shima now enters once again the most important matchup of his career. And we've seen Ray Rowe dominate Shiima Xion in a tag team environment before. A unique atmosphere quickly halted by a vicious Nightmare's chop. Ray Rowe has never been a man to pander to the fans. But quick roll up by Shima. And Rowe and Shima both realize the stakes.
The title's on the line. Take any opportunity you are given.
Rowe behind Shiima Xion to start things out. And if you're Ray Rowe, in your mind, this championship has been yours since a call to arms back in December. If not for J-Rock slamming the cage door on Ray Rowe's head, he would have won the belt that night. Ray Rowe feels this is 11 months in the making. And I think Ray Rowe himself is pretty darn shocked that he got bested by Shiima Xion. Ray Rowe probably upset at himself that he showed compassion. But as you said, not tonight. Ray Rowe has to be the emotionless assassin. Check out the agility of Shima up into the Hurricane Rana. And Ray Rowe is on the outside, and you don't see Ray Rowe need a breather that often. But Rowe's smart enough to sidestep Shima once, but not a second time.
Uh-oh.
Shima's up top, look out. This could be dangerous. Spreads out his body weight for the crossbody to the outside.
It's always dangerous when Shima takes to the air. You know, Rowe not used to, at least here in IWC, facing talent that has that much of a speed advantage. He's been hit the people.
Oh, check out Rowe, check out the power. He just picked Shima up by the side of his head, by his ears, and just peeled him into the ring.
He knows he has the strength advantage, but he's probably not used to the speed advantage that Shima's going to possess in this. He has to keep Shima grounded and not let him fly about the ring on him if he wants that title.
And he needs a methodical pace. He needs to keep things slow, and he needs to keep things just like there, a striking environment. Ray Rowe, extensively trained in mixed martial arts. I believe Ray Rowe can outpower Shima, outstrike Shima, and perhaps outwit Shima on the mat. Cover, 2 and no. But if Shima can pull out the Lucha Libre influence, the Japanese influence, and let's face it, the Shiima Xion influence we've seen since day one, Shiima Xion may have a hope. But regardless of champion or not, you gotta pit anybody against Ray Rowe as an automatic underdog.
The key advantage that Shima has is he's tasted the gold. He has upped his game to become a champion. He knows what it means now, and he has the mentality to keep his game at that level to maintain the belt. It's a pretty high level to maintain to try and get over Ray Rowe, but if anyone can do it, it is Shiima Xion.
And Rowe made a mistake. He put Shiima Xion in motion. Shima came back with a drop kick, but just like that, instantaneously, Rowe comes back with a clothesline, grounds the champion again, and we have a near fall. Ray Rowe has made his first error of this matchup, but will he learn from it? Rowe is going to look to unleash the suplexes. He is a suplex machine. And as mentioned before, he has thrown around Shima all across this ring for months in a tag environment. And Shima tried to counter out of that suplex into perhaps an inside cradle, but Rowe just drove Shima down. That was all power.
And now again, keeping it his game. Keeping it on the mat, trying to keep the air out of Shima's lungs so he doesn't have the breath and the wind to keep running, keep the speedy offensive bursts occurring.
Drop into the cover. I think Rowe realized that was not going to be 3. But I think Ray Rowe is in the mindset of sending a message right now. Ray Rowe taught Shiima Xion that Ray Rowe can be compassionate. He has to beat it out of him here. Now Shima goes to the cradle and gets it. And a cover and no. Second time was the charm for Shiima Xion, but Rowe, again, just beats Shima down and keeps that pace slow.
If Shima wants to walk out of this match with the gold, he has to get up quicker. He's getting these opportunities to get some distance, but he's not capitalizing on them. And that's a huge mistake. You're not going to go blow to blow with Ray Rowe.
Shima trying to fight his way to his feet clearly did not work. And there you see the icy stare. There you see the emotionless eyes that we've known from Ray Rowe to possess for so long now. This is the frame of mind Ray Rowe has to be in.
Don't do it!
And Shiima Xion may be looking at one of the shortest heavyweight title reigns in IWC history. Forearm, head of steam, but again the pace quickens. It's advantage Shima here, who takes Rowe down with a DDT.
5 minutes has elapsed in this bout. 5 minutes.
And what Shima needs to do right now, get out of the ring. Get a chance to breathe, regroup, get yourself out of the way of those forearms and those knees and those fists that Ray Rowe is going to bring if you're within his swinging distance.
Both men are down. Again, for about the 3rd time tonight, our crowd decidedly split. Shima using the ropes, helping his vertical base, but Ray Rowe is up as well. And Shiima Xion may be forced, look at this, forced to wrestle a Ray Rowe style match, but Shima not backing down. The discus forearm counter. It's Shima unload, but Rowe doesn't move. Plan B, no dice.
He's running into a wall.
When you run into Ray Rowe, it feels like Ray Rowe ran into you. But Shima with a takedown and Rowe right back up. And Ray Rowe begins to take charge, but Shima's a hair quicker. Sunset flip. Rowe went for the knee, advertised it too much.
Well, for the first time, I'm seeing Ray Rowe show pain.
Bible block by Shima. Hook in the legs. Shima almost had another huge upset. Barnes, we've seen so many men try to beat Ray Rowe. So few succeed. But I don't think we've seen anybody beat Ray Rowe twice. Shima up top.
Beating Ray Rowe twice is almost as impossible as
Missile drop kick.
as someone weighing 170 pounds getting the heavyweight title. But we've seen the impossible happen already, so.
Rowe caught Shima. And he unleashes the first suplex of the contest. Release German with a cover, and no. Shima escapes, but Rowe is now deeper into his element, unleashing the trademark suplex.
It looks like something caught when he tried to slide under his legs and his momentum just stopped. And Ray Rowe didn't even hesitate, just grabbed him and dumped him. Oh no.
Going for death row, but Shima rolls through. And Rowe, and Shiima Xion's body. Looked like it was shot out of a car. New champion, no Shima. Had his foot on the ropes. Coulter detected it at the last possible second.
Shima went flying and smacked his head off that bottom turnbuckle.
Well, Shima with a roll up. Rowe was distracted by the official's decision. Rowe was thrown off his game thanks to Shima putting his foot on the ropes. But again, we're back to square one. Charged with a forearm. Watch Shima. No way! Release suplex by Shima on Rowe.
Apparently there is a little bit of muscle in that 170 pounds of smut.
Shima's about 60 pounds lighter than Ray Rowe, but was still able to muscle and leverage Ray Rowe over.
And how much shorter as well.
The big man's down. The kick connected for two.
He got two super kicks right square to the jaw. An impressive feat from a man of Shiima Xion's stature and Ray Rowe's stature.
Shima says that's all.
What do we think he's going for?
We've seen him hit 630 a number of times. Could it be it? No. Frog splash. Rowe out of the way. Oh, look out. Death row. Countered. Roll up. Shima. Have a count again. And Rowe up. Instantaneously. The gut wrench. Shima. Through with a sunset flip. In the ropes. No count. Rowe gets off his back. Shoulders are down. Shima again counters. And Shima. No. Did he have him? Coulter says he got three. Judgment call, but Coulter was right there to see the shoulder.
Well, the fans don't like it, but clearly they were, just as close as Coulter.
Your winner, and still,
Give me 5 more minutes.
Both Rowe and Shima are requesting more time. I think Shima noticed something Coulter didn't, and he doesn't want to win the title like that.
Shima does not.
ladies and gentlemen, referee Stephen Coulter has restarted this match.
Shima's upset.
And Shima having words with Coulter, and now this match has been restarted.
Shima has so much to overcome with this championship as is. His size, his weight. He doesn't want a tainted victory, especially on his first defense hanging over him.
Well, you have to admire what Shima is going through here, agreeing to 5 more minutes. But, I mean, you beat Ray Rowe any way you can. Let's face it, Shima may have just thrown away the IWC title.
Well, it's his to throw away. And
well, I guess... Oh, God. I guess Shima saw Ray Rowe in the ropes and decided he didn't want to win that way. Dragon stretch. Shiima Xion maybe about to pass out. He may not remember his first heavyweight title match. Ray Rowe stretching and pulling away. And you can see the torque being put on Shima's upper body. This could be all. Will Shiima Xion tap away the title? He made it to the ropes. And we're still alive here. IWC November Pain in overtime.
And Rowe finally breaking the hold, taking full advantage of that 5 count.
And Shima trying to counter any way he can. Lands on his feet. The super kick. Rowe is dazed, down on his feet again. Second time, the big man goes down. And now Shima, again, trying to finish this title defense. Frog splash, connects this time. He's got the count of 3. Shima wins it. Somehow.
Your winner and still IWC champion, Shiima Xion.
Somehow, Shiima Xion perseveres, defeats Ray Rowe not only in the title tournament, but again here tonight. Shima has proven the title tournament was no fluke. He has proven he belongs in the upper echelon. Shiima Xion has beaten the once thought unbeatable.
And let's be honest, technically he's beaten him 3 times in a row. You want a solid base upon which to build your championship run? I can't think of a better one.
One of the hardest working deserving champions I've ever seen. And Ray Rowe. Rowe and Shima face to face again. Shiima Xion. A bit emotional, understanding what he's just been through, justifiably so. And Shiima Xion again only solidifies his reputation, solidifies his mark as the heavyweight champion.
And Rowe is just sick at himself for having missed this opportunity.
I don't think Rowe has anything to be ashamed about. I don't believe I saw a noticeable mistake this time from Rowe. Rowe wrestled his heart out. It just seems to be Shiima Xion is rising to his potential before our very eyes. And look who's out here now.
Before our very eyes.
J-Rock.
I don't know that I would be taunting Ray Rowe right now. He doesn't look too happy to be
J-Rock rubbing the fact in that Ray Rowe failed in his IWC title bid. And J-Rock, who has narrowly escaped death from Ray Rowe on a number of occasions, may not know what he's about to get into. We've seen J-Rock play mind games with Ray Rowe in recent months. Tell Ray Rowe the old Ray Rowe is back. Oh, and check this out. Oh, Shane Taylor from behind has Rowe in a gut wrench. Oh, look at Shima. Shima with a super kick. The respect between Shima and Rowe apparent here as the new Cleveland Mafia. Oh, look at that face. Look at the anger on Shane Taylor.
And Ray Rowe just said, you want to finish this? Finish it now.
Why the hell did he do that? Even J-Rock's in shock. Why did Ray Rowe just do that? Ray Rowe staring down J-Rock. No! Is this what J-Rock meant? After Ray Rowe decimated Bane, and J-Rock said he sees the look in Ray Rowe's eyes. J-Rock said that's what Ray Rowe has been missing all this time. No!
And it looks like Cleveland Mafia 2.0 has been formed.
Why would Ray Rowe? No, Death Row, the smack of the knee, meeting meaning the skull of Shima, why would Ray Rowe realign himself with the man that cost Rowe the heavyweight title to begin with?
Well, I'll be honest, I don't know that I want to find
Here
out.
comes Ricky Reyes, out to protect Shima, and they've got weapons.
I would have brought a gun myself. Good Lord, look at the size of Taylor.
How has J-Rock reformed his allegiance with Ray Rowe? What did J-Rock see in Ray Rowe, or what did J-Rock convince Ray Rowe that J-Rock saw that led to this regrouping, that led to this reconciliation?
Well, Joe, as the respected journalist of IWC, I think you should find out.
Shiima Xion is still the champion, but J-Rock and Ray Rowe are back together. The Cleveland Mafia is more dangerous than ever before.
But you got to give it up for time. More rules for the man.
J-Rock has somehow formed together an alliance of the two most physically opposing men in the history of this company. And if I was Shiima Xion or anybody else, I would beware of J-Rock, Shane Taylor, and the Cleveland Mafia christened Ray Rowe. Shima is the victor, but who can stop J-Rock? And what is next for the Cleveland Mafia?
I get the feeling that Shima won the battle, but there is still a lot of war left ahead of us.
What did J-Rock do to convince Ray Rowe to come back under his tutelage? And what challenges come next for one of the most inspirational heavyweight champions in IWC history as Shiima Xion's surreal reign on top only continues?